My name is Steve Stevens, the best sports consultant money can buy. I make more money betting sports than anybody in the world. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie, I'm the Bookie Killer.
If money talks, then I got a lot to say. I'm on the grind trying to make $100,000 a day. The game that I pick, believe me, it's a winner. What I know could get you rich, cause all I pick is winners. Welcome to Las Vegas. Money talks, money talks. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VIP Sports Podcast. I'm Steve Stevens, a.k.a. the Bookie Killer, sitting here with my co-host, the Big Skipper, a guy that has made several bets with me since we've been on air in front of you guys and has won every single one of them.
Fucking right. I don't lose, dude.
However, we made a bet last week that Cincinnati would advance, even though I put up tens of thousands of fucking dollars to your thousand. I won.
Well, it took a fucking 18-1 bet for you to win.
Hey, well, whatever it was, I finally got a win from you, buddy. I feel fantastic about it. I've never won on air with you, and it just seemed to go my way that day. Cincinnati did not advance. What happened, Skip? What happened to Cincinnati?
Well, they had the biggest meltdown of the tournament. They were up 22 late in the second half.
Yeah, to lose outright, that was embarrassing. What happened?
Huge fucking meltdown. I don't know what happened. They might have been smoking some of your kush in the locker room at halftime.
If they were smoking my master closer kush, they wouldn't have lost that fucking lead. I guarantee you that.
They had a fucking complete meltdown like 3 Mile Island back in the day.
Yeah, they sure as fuck did. Who melted down more, in your opinion, Virginia or Cincy?
That's a great question. Virginia.
Should we ask the public?
Virginia.
I'd have to say Virginia,
Yeah,
because it made history,
That
right?
was a bigger upset. Virginia was number 1. Cincinnati was the 2 seed. Yeah, they totally choked. I mean, it is what it is. I had 18-1 on Cincinnati at the sports book. I had 13-1 with you for 1,000. And I'm happy to give you 1,000 back. I'm probably taking you for what, 20 grand on the podcast?
Minimum. And like I said, it just goes back to our saying, and Skip will agree with you. You know, the only prop bet that you do is propping your nuts right on the bookie's chin and telling them to pay you.
Right.
There's no future in fucking future bets. There ain't no future in your fronting. Never was, cuz. You know what I mean?
No future in props. No future in fronting. But it is what it is.
And we got a great show for you, by the way. It's tournament time. Clients are in town left and fucking right. As you could tell by our Instagram, we're being very, very private. If you remember 2-3 years ago, this is the time of the year we post all our tickets, all of our clients, all of our people's names.
Can't do it anymore.
With guys like Chris Barr with restraining orders, with stalkers in the industry on our Instagram, putting on there, our company's on fire. If your company was on fire, you wouldn't be stalking my Instagram.
Yeah. You'd have a lot more to do to spend all your time stalking a real fucking sports bettor.
I don't even have time to go to my son's baseball game, let alone stalk somebody's fucking
hold on.
Instagram.
You got to make time for that.
I make time. I said I don't have time.
Yeah.
I actually cut time out of my money making to go do that.
You got to go to Little D's fucking T-ball.
And
that's absolute fucking priority.
Did I leave work early Saturday?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so
you find a reason to leave early every day, just for the record.
What? You got me confused with fucking Stu and yourself, my friend.
No, I don't have you confused with anyone.
Nah, you're
great at fucking reasons for leaving.
Oh, yeah, I got to run to the dispensary, or I got to run to the bank real quick and grab this thing?
Yeah.
I got to grab a battery for the monitor phone, the sheet ain't accurate?
Yeah. Well, you go around the office asking everybody if anyone has any weed, or does anyone have an extra fucking joint rolled? And I got to run to the dispensary, Skip. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, marijuana does not affect my life. It's around me everywhere. I got pounds of it here at the office. Anyone that wants to come by, they can grab a master closer joint.
No, you don't. Don't say that. Well, people want to stop by and getting high. We don't have pounds of weed here.
We got pounds of winners, pounds of gold.
We got pounds and pounds of winners.
And if you want to find out how to get pounds of gold, why don't we tell them here on the show?
I'm sure someone's going to put a comment out there. Oh, Skip's got a lot of pounds.
And Steve has...
Hey, just for the record, Skip's overweight.
But I bet you could pound your girl.
I bet you I'd pound your fucking face, too.
Anyway, Speaking
of pounding girls, man, am I sick of hearing about this fucking Stormy Daniels?
What's the deal with Stormy?
Jesus Christ, Stormy Daniels. You know who this is?
No, I actually fucking don't. My producers were talking. I mean, my head is so full right now with this
Speaking of pounding girls, it looks like Trump had himself some pussy again.
Trump was hitting something from the back,
Stormy Daniels is a porn star, or a former porn star.
The one that got paid off a couple dollars.
Or, should we say an adult film star is what they call him now, okay? She's a porno slut, okay?
Right, but she's not a prostitute because a prostitute's not licensed.
Well, she gets paid to fuck on camera.
Well, but she's licensed to do that. It's legal.
Well, it's kind of like a prostitute.
It's the exact same thing. Prostitutes hitting the street illegally, This bitch is in license and bonded. No different than these guys in their underwear saying they're handicappers or at home in their underwear versus we're doing it licensed and bonded at the office.
Well, Stormy Daniels apparently was a porno star. Mm-hmm. And apparently, she's all over the fucking news now. She's trying to take your boy Trump down.
She took him for the money already in the suit. Now she's opening her mouth, which she wasn't supposed to.
She's getting more attention than the Sweet 16. I mean,
she is.
I mean, that's Stormy Daniels on every fucking channel on the TV.
I can't even watch games without seeing the bitch.
Apparently, Trump might have had sex with her, allegedly, fucking 12, 15 years ago or something.
Trump pounded her out?
Supposedly, she was accepted $150,000 at the time to keep her mouth shut.
Right.
Except for when there's peanuts in it.
Correct. Well,
and apparently, she's opening her mouth now. Imagine that.
Right.
It's not for peanuts. It's for a lawsuit or whatever. I mean, she's saying she had an affair with Trump or Trump fucked her.
Well,
I mean, Trump, if I was Trump, you know what I'd do? I wouldn't get caught like Bill Clinton with my dick in my hand or my pants down in the Oval Office. I'd say, yeah, I fucked her.
Why wouldn't you?
In case you haven't noticed, I like fucking hot chicks.
Yeah, I was single at the time. Was he single, married, or
I'm
what?
not sure.
If you're the president and you're married, you can't.
No, he wasn't a president. This was like 15 years ago.
But I'm saying if he was married, that makes him a horrible person. You don't do that.
Terrible person.
That's an adultery.
Terrible.
You don't do that.
Horrible.
So.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd just come right out and say, yeah, I fucked her. And I fucked a lot of supermodels. Right. I fucked a lot of playmates. I fucked a lot of porn stars. In fact, would you like a list of them?
You know,
so we can save each other a little bit of time here? You need a list of everyone I fucked?
Yeah, correct. Well, the reason why...
Because now he's going to get caught, you know?
Well, he's the president.
He says, no, I didn't have a relationship with her. He pulled a Bill Clinton.
Correct.
I did not have sex.
Well,
I did not have fucking sexual relationships with that woman.
A lot of these women would have came out a lot earlier and tried to sue him for his money, but there's different ways how girls come out. For instance, I don't mean to bring Mike Tyson into it or whatever, or an NBA player. Let me give you a scenario. You get a prostitute, okay? Mm-hmm. She gets with a guy like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson gives her $2,000. She expects maybe to get fucked. Well, Mike might want to hit the asshole. Listen, this girl never had a 13-inch cock in her butthole before.
So that's
He fucking blows her out. No, fucks her up and takes her beyond the prostitution call. So now she's coming out early saying, I was raped, he did things I didn't like. See, Trump didn't have to worry about that because he has a 4-inch cock. Girls would have came out way earlier about him and tried to get more money from him, but he hasn't done anything damage. He's an easy trick. If Trump calls you and you're a prostitute, you go up to his room, you get his little 5-inch cock off, and it's easy work. These girls that end up running into these athletes end up biting off more than they can chew, so they come out earlier than expected. Literally.
Right.
So they come out, oh my God, even though it was supposed to be a normal prostitute call, you ended up gobbling a 13-inch cock. It blew your mind. Your pussy's sore. You had to go home and ice it.
Right.
And now you're coming out saying I was raped.
Yeah, he did me in the ass. He wasn't supposed to go there.
These girls would have been...
allegedly, that sounds like what happened to Kobe up in Denver.
That's exactly what happened. She had all intentions of giving him the pussy.
Right.
She didn't know he did a little toot or a little X and wanted to hit that butthole.
Right.
It was okay. She's used to having a 9, 10, maybe an 11-inch cock in her pussy. Her buttholes never went over 5.
He said, honey, you're not getting it in the pussy. You're getting it in the ass. Now, turn around.
That's what we said.
And then she went home and cried to daddy. He fucked my asshole, daddy.
Didn't we do a personal service announcement to the NBA? # don't hit the ass?
Yes, we told
We've
them.
said that several different times, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Trump's finally now people coming out because he's the president. I say all you girls out there that had sex with him, he nutted on you already. You knew what you were doing. It's over. Shut the fuck up.
That's what I mean.
You've been sucking dick for a living for years. How many guys in the porno industry nutted in your face, you got your $300 check, and you haven't said a word about it since?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Is anybody surprised that Trump is fucking hot chicks?
No.
No, I'm not surprised. That's why, I don't know who's advising him, but whoever's advisor is a fucking moron.
Right, he should admit it and come out. I pounded the fuck out of her. Pussy was actually good.
Yeah, I would have said, listen, Donald, just next time you're on camera and they ask you, did you fuck Stormy Daniels? Say, yeah, I fucked that bitch.
So
and for a porn star, she actually really wasn't that good.
Yeah, exactly. So rather than be all nervous, just be like, woo, yes, I did. And I tell you what,
and
you would think it was outrageous. Pussy was drier than the turkey that Kelly made on Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God. But listen, he'd get so much more credit. He'd have more fans if he just came out and said, yeah, I fucked her. She wasn't that great.
Here's the bottom line, America. We don't give a fuck who Donald fucked. Stormy, get off the TV so we can watch some fucking TV and watch some goddamn NCAA tournament. You know what I mean?
I want to hear about the Sweet 16, not about Stormy Daniels.
Great show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Podcast is brought to you by our boys over there at BetOnline.ag. AG. As you know, the finely laced state-of-the-art studio was sponsored by our boys. It's March 21st, 2018, podcast number 161.
Damn.
Yeah, they're climbing up there. And like I said, each week our show is brought to you by our sponsors that we love very, very much. More importantly, we care about you. This whole show is about the legalization of sports betting. We got it in New Jersey. It's about to happen in 30 more states, and I couldn't be more happy. It's going to blow my business up like a bomb, not to mention I'm doing 2 new television shows as we speak right now. I'm not going to get into any detail, but yes, Steve Stevens is coming back. Is it Money Talks? Absolutely not. There's no Paula, no Pirelli, no bullshit, fake shit in this show. It's all behind the scenes of me, Raw, the #1 sports bettor, and to educate America on what sports betting is. I've already brought you into my life of the biggest sports bettor. I've showed you my clients. I've showed you my business. Now it's time for us to educate America, show them what sports betting being legal does to their state. Build schools, churches, roads, cuts to taxes, infrastructure, shit like that. On top of me educating you on how you can make money doing it. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, just for the record, there wasn't a whole lot that was fake about Money Talks.
No, I said Pirelli Paula specifically.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear because I'm sure someone heard you say that out there.
And now there's
going to be comments, oh, did you hear that? He said Money Talks was fucking fake.
Yeah, no, I said...
No, it wasn't.
Him buying a watch at the jewelry was fake. He
Yeah.
didn't have no money.
Yeah.
I actually bought my shit.
Right.
So that was the difference.
Right.
But, we had to show a little action, and he was all we had to work with. You know what, Pirelli? As a fake actor living in an apartment, you did pretty fucking good, I'd say. I thought he was pretty entertaining for that show. You'll never be on TV again, or ever again, so... No one will but us. Anyway, we got a great show for you. And talking about opportunity, if you're watching and listening to the podcast, you own a small business, you work at a company, you're interested in getting involved with me, the sports betting, this booming $1 trillion industry, email us at advertising@VIPSportsLasVegas.com. We'll get back with you with all the details on how to become a sponsor of our show. Today's show, we're going to talk about our betting recap. We're going to go over the Sweet 16 matchup. We're going to talk about championship odds.
We're going to give you some current odds for who's going to win it all. And more importantly, we're going to go over each game in the Sweet 16 briefly, give you a little information on these matchups.
We're also letting you know that we don't send any text messages. We don't do any emails. Anybody that sends texts or emails are a fraud. Plain and fucking simple. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know that they're real. And remember, all the licensed and bonded real companies, none of them text, none of them email. So if you get an email or text from VIP Sports, it's fraudulent. And last time I checked, you worked too hard to have your money fucked off by some stalker sitting in a 1-bedroom apartment throwing darts with your money.
And if your sports service doesn't accept credit cards, you know right away they're a fraud.
If they're asking you to send PayPal or to their pal through Western Union, that means they have no outlet. They're not licensed and bonded. You want to get a hold of a real company?
Yeah.
Call us at 877-220-6540. We'll get on the phone and talk to you, build a relationship with you, explain shit to you on a one-on-one basis, and show you how to be the best. Fair enough?
Take you by the hand, show you the formula for success, walk you right through it so there's no mistakes. And we got pretty distinct voices. You'll know that you're talking directly to us.
That's correct. And like I said, you're looking for a free pick, go to our website, VIPSportsLasVegas.com. We have packages for all size, shapes of sports bettors. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And when you click the subscribe button, make sure you hit that little bell so you get alerted. And like I said, I apologize that we don't have pictures of our clients. We don't have pictures of our tickets. At this point in my career, I'm sorry, I have nothing to prove, and it does nothing but cause me problems with stalkers that stalk our Instagram and stalk the clients that we put up. We can't even tag anybody anymore because of fucking stalkers. So we've established what we are and what we do. You need to establish yourself. We want to welcome all of the new listeners from around the world on the podcast one to the VIP Sports Las Vegas podcast. We're excited to be bringing you into our life of a guy that bets big and lives larger, especially in this $1 trillion industry. The ins and outs of the sports betting business about to be legal in 30 different states, including already legal in New Jersey. They will be accepting bets, I hear, before day one in baseball, which is in what, 11 days? 8 days, right?
God bless. Next Thursday.
So we'll see. But it's on the news every day. They're trying.
9 days, opening day baseball.
It's already been approved. The parlors are set up. They're just waiting for action.
I actually saw online where they're actually hiring for sportsbook managers, ticket writers.
Oh, yeah, there's two. Yeah.
The sports books are actually already built. The sports lounges are built. They're training employees for when the verdict actually comes out and they make the announcement, they'll be taking bets the very next day.
Oh yeah,
God bless America.
Listen, William Hill, Cantor,
they're ready to go.
The platform is already set.
They've already trained employees. Yeah, they're ready to go.
Exactly. So bottom line, you're listening to us on the Podcast One app. Go to the YouTube channel. Check us out. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, VIP Sports LV. You could direct message us with any questions. I'll get right back with you at any fucking time. Let's go over a little betting recap. Who's that brought to you by, Skip?
Brought to you by BetOnline.ag, the same wonderful people, as you said, that put this studio together, sponsor the studio. BetOnline.ag is one of the web's most popular betting destinations. If you go there and you sign up for an account, make sure you use the promo code ALLDAY. I can't tell you how many people tell me they sign up with BetOnline and they forget to put the promo code in. They're like, why didn't I get my bonus? Why didn't I do that? Put the promo code ALLDAY in there so you get your credit. You'll get a 50% welcome bonus instantly added to your bankroll. Their management team has been together since 1991, Steve. BetOnline.ag offers wagering on nearly every sport and event possible. Once you're in on the action, you'll find out firsthand why BetOnline.ag is rated A+. Doesn't get any better than that. Including the earliest opening lines in the business and the best live betting software in the industry, and most importantly, fast payouts. BetOnline.ag because you can, Steve.
Last week we told you about the under trend.
Yeah.
We told you about Skip's sweatshirt going back and forth with the friction in the microphone.
That's you, dude.
Skip, that's not me.
Dude, that's you.
That's not me.
You blamed it on me before, and it's you again.
That's
okay?
not me. You hear?
Stop fucking breakdancing over there while we're doing
It's
the
not
podcast.
me. No,
I'm not moving.
It's your chinny chin chin and the hair off your chinny chin
No,
chin.
I just fucking got
your hair on your.
I
don't know what's longer, Billy Goat's chin chin hair or yours.
I just got shaved up.
Oh, you just got freshly trimmed?
Yesterday, I just got cleaned up.
Rumor on the streets, you're sneaking on a flight to spring training.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's go right into the under trend, okay? We told you many, many times with all these games, all you people betting top. Hey, what about all those people betting top 25 teams, Skip? Favorites haven't done as bad as people would think. They actually won a lot. Like, the reason why the sports books were slowed down for about 5 days is favorites won for about 5 days.
Favorites were about 70% in the first
5 days.
Yeah, the first round.
It's equaled out to about 46% now.
After Sunday with all the dogs, yeah, it's corrected itself.
Yes, it has. But let's get into the under. We told you you don't necessarily have to bet a side or a top 25 team, okay? Over-under is where a lot of money is. The under went 31 in 21, including the play in the games with some ugly, low-scoring games, Skip.
A lot of unders in the tournament.
Well, for example, Loyola Chicago, Syracuse, Michigan, K-State were the worst offenders. The under went a combined 5-0 in their games.
Those teams you just mentioned, actually 9-0.
Play no defense.
Those teams you just mentioned.
Excuse me, 9-0.
Those teams you just mentioned, every game was under. Loyola Chicago, Syracuse, Michigan, Kansas State, all their games have been under.
These are all offensive teams that play, is why I bring them up, Skip.
Unders.
But K-State's a scoring team. Loyola Chicago's a scoring team. Syracuse, Michigan, all of them went under, like you said, for a combined 9-0 in their games.
Yes.
So teams that are offensively scoring aren't scoring, which means the public is obviously struggling to find winners because statistically wise, games that should win on paper or totals that should go over on paper aren't going.
Absolutely.
You got to know when to pick your spots. That's why you pay us.
That's why you can't. That's why you can't throw darts. That's why you can't bet games just because they look good on paper.
Or what we just tell you on the podcast.
Yeah, you can make a game look fucking fabulous, like it can't lose on paper, and they got to still play the game, brother. Nobody thought Virginia was going to lose.
Well,
I mean, nobody thought North Carolina was going to get knocked out.
No one and their mom said Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, ESPN's posting tickets now, huh? So we get letters from FBI and IRS. How long? See, ESPN, you guys are just getting into this sports betting game, which you don't know a fucking thing about. Wait till the FTC, IRS Gaming Control Board starts getting on your ass. And another thing I can't wait for is for ESPN to have a sports handicapping show.
Oh, they're already starting. They're slowly getting into it.
So when they have a sports handicapping show
Yeah.
and you see that ESPN has a bunch of shit guys that can't even hit 50%, you'll realize that the name of their network doesn't mean a fucking thing when it comes down to winning games against the spread. Because we've said it before. They have head coaches on the fucking show that coached the team the year before. That coach can't even go 50% against the spread on the same fucking team he coached the year before.
Yeah, believe it or not, ESPN has actually been selling picks for a couple of years now.
Yeah, so
if you know where to find it on their website,
yeah,
there's a place on there that I can show you later. Not like you care, but that ESPN has actually been selling picks for quite some time.
Well, I suggest they come get a Steve Stevens 101 course on what to do because they're going to run into a lot of legal problems. I can tell you that right the fuck now.
And they're not very good because I've filed it just for the shit,
Well, for
shits
instance,
and giggles. Not good at all.
They put a $500 ticket on the Virginia game of the other side or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though you have that person's permission to post the ticket, you don't have the gaming control's permission to post that fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Period.
Let alone,
you don't have the casino.
Let alone when the alphabet starts knocking on your door.
Yeah, the alphabet boys start calling you.
Yeah.
You won't post shit anymore either, my good friends. But anyway, President of ESPN, give me a call so I can help you because you guys think you know shit. You have all the coaches. You have all the players. But those guys don't have no fucking clue about winning guys against the spread.
Well, just look at the NFL when those fucking former coaches and former players sit there on the pregame show.
They have no clue.
And they pick who they think's going to cover.
Correct.
Or who's just going to win straight up.
Yeah.
They're wrong way more than they're right.
Yeah, so remember.
They're about as good as Vegas Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. It doesn't get any worse than that.
I didn't mean to fire you up.
I know. Shout out to Trust Fund Hawaiian Dave out there.
Little dick.
I don't know how you got the name Vegas, little dude, because you ain't from here. You're short as a fucking Hawaiian fucking pineapple.
I didn't mean to get you going.
Dude, fuck. Well, there's nothing to get us going. I mean, the guy stocks nonstop. Big difference between a trust fund kid that thinks he can bet, that runs a business in his underwear through Instagram, or a guy that has 30 salesmen doing $250,000 a week doing TV shows. You got a difference of a guy willing to suck a dick to get on a commercial, or a guy that has 4 different Hollywood TV shows set up.
Well, back to the Sweet 16, as you said.
Favorites, let's talk about it. We can't forget.
Favorites are not doing quite as bad as you think. I mean, it hasn't been a cakewalk for the chalk in the tournament so far. For
Not
the favorites.
really.
But they're not getting as murdered as bad, as you would think. The favorites started out, as we said, they were about 70% in the first round.
Right.
I mean, every fucking favorite was covering.
Then
it corrected itself over the weekend. And then what happened Sunday?
Over the weekend, the betting favorites went 22-24. In a weekend filled with upsets, it wasn't that bad because it ended up going 22-24-1 against the spread.
And depending on what line you had on that Texas-Nevada game, maybe 23-24.
Well, the numbers exclude the Texas-Nevada game, which closed as
Nevada actually ended up being 1.5 in that game. So you can chalk that up as a slight favorite. So
as a win for the favorite?
It ended up correcting
23-24. It corrected himself to be about 46%.
Yes. And then Sunday, Bloody Sunday came around in the second round.
Oh.
And 7 out of 8 games on Sunday, the favorites covered, and a lot of them won outright.
Yes, they did. And now hear me out, though. A lot of people kept with their favorite tone that went into the weekend.
And they got blasted on Sunday.
And the sportsbook got every dollar back on Sunday.
They did.
All that bankroll they built up, they're out Sunday, they're off work, their wife gave them a pass, they're at the sportsbook.
All the favorites have been covering.
The favorites been covering. You've been winning for 4 days straight. You think you know it all. You put all your money on one favorite. What? You got hit over the head Sunday. Done.
The only favorite that covered on Sunday in the second round, I was calling it Sunday, Bloody Sunday. West Virginia was the only favorite that covered on Sunday.
Yes, they were.
They won 94-71. They won by 23. They were laying 13 to whoever the fuck they played, I forget. But they covered, and they covered big. They were the only favorite that won on Sunday.
Speaking about the only favorite that won, underdogs. Underdogs went 7-1. Against the spread on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a fucking secret. With some big-name programs bowing out early, that wasn't even the biggest story of the opening weekend either.
Michigan State went down. North Carolina went down.
Virginia
went down.
I mean, just...
listen.
All among top favorites to win the national championship, not just to extend to the next round. We're talking about teams that had a very good chance of winning the championship.
Those were all big favorites to win it.
North Carolina, Virginia, Michigan State.
Yeah.
I mean... Cincinnati. Skip was the only person. He's not the only person that likes Cincy. We got plenty of comments of people that agree.
I had Cincinnati at 18-1 to win it all. I took a shot. I was hoping they'd get to the Elite Eight, at which point I could hedge out and guarantee myself profit. at 18-1, I got a great price.
Even at that level of teams, though, they're not the only ones that disappointed.
Well, they blew, it was the biggest fucking the biggest blow of the tournament. They were up 22 in the second half.
Yeah, they choked.
Halfway through the second half, they were up 22.
That's why we asked.
Total fucking meltdown.
Who choked more, Cincinnati second half or Virginia period?
Xavier got knocked out.
Yeah,
fucking Tennessee got knocked out.
Tennessee, Tennessee's a team that would barely cover, but I figured they'd make it a little bit more.
Hey, it's March Madness, brother.
Let's talk about Loyola Chicago Ramblers, speaking about
God.
March Madness.
How many times have we told you?
We've said it throughout the whole season. We get here. Back on January 25th, podcast number 153 to be fucking exact. And then every weekend, including last week, we talked about Loyola Chicago.
Yes, we have. We've been talking so much about them. If people haven't made money on that team.
For 3.5 months, we've been discussing them. Podcast number 153. Loyola Chicago could be a team to put on the watch list, we said. Ramblers smoked Drake University Wednesday by 23 and easily covered a 2-point spread. Then they blasted Valparaiso by 26 before that and have won 6 straight games against the spread. We told you guys
That's what we told you on
word for fucking word.
That was word for word what we said on January 25th about Loyola Chicago.
Which if we really probably at this point need to hire a different social media guy just for videos to actually repost what we said, because with all the fraud on the internet,
oh my God, just go.
You know how much business we would get if we actually reposted the shit that we said?
All you got to do is go back to these podcasts, pull out the segments where we told you what was going to happen,
and see if they're true,
and then show you the final score after the game.
Podcast number 155 in an exact quote. The first place Loyola Chicago Ramblers, we said, are 9-1 in their last 10 games against the spread. In their 5 most recent wins against the spread, the Ramblers have won by 15, 23, 23, 16, and 16. We said it word for fucking word.
That was just fucking 6 weeks ago we said that.
Now let's go to last week.
We've been talking about this team for over 2 months.
10 weeks minimum.
Unbelievable.
No.
So
12 weeks.
So what happened last week?
Last week, the Ramblers are rambling into the tournament week on a defensive roll, posting 5 consecutive unders, we told you.
Wow.
While allowing more than 54 points just once in the last span. Loyola Chicago is one of the top road covering teams in the field of 68, going 8-3-1 against the spread.
Well, guess what happened?
Guess what the fucking result was? The Ramblers won both games outright, and both games went under.
Huh, imagine that.
If you just simply bet the games that we've told you off the podcast, you're as $1,000 better. We did the math. You're up $60,000 on the fucking season.
That's a lot of money.
And if you're telling me you're a $1,000 player up 60 grand, do me a favor.
That's a brand new car.
You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself.
That's a brand new car and a nice vacation.
Not one person listening to this podcast as a $1,000 player is up 60 grand and 60 fucking units.
No.
If you go back to every game we've told you, you'll see it's a fucking reality. Talk to me about Thursday's game, Skip.
Well, before we get into previewing, we're going to preview every game briefly for Thursday and Friday for the Sweet 16. This would be a great time before we take a little break to tell you exactly what we're doing this week. Last week, Steve, when we ran the promotion, we had 109 new clients call in. 109 clients called in for that $99 promotion for the first round, and I'd say 85 out of 100 of them have signed up for a minimum 30-day package, have extended their contracts. Everyone's making money, and everybody's happy, and everybody's book is paying us.
Shout out to the guy, and I don't usually, comment on one guy because you always have haters. Shout out to the guy that said, "Hey, Steve, all your clients are broke after you take your cut."
What are you talking about?
Listen, you stupid fuck.
You dumb ass.
I don't get paid unless you do, dick fuck. If we made 50 grand for the year, for the week, he made 25, I made 25. We start the new week off at a 0 balance. Dumb fuck. Anyway, go ahead, Skip.
The bookie pays both of us.
The bookie pays me,
not
my clients.
How can the clients be broke after they pay us?
Yeah, well, they're paying me with the bookie's money.
Come on, man.
I don't get paid unless they do when you're working with me commission. Wake up, moron.
Stop trying to act like you know what's going on.
I know. They pay me 50% of the net, so put that in your fucking numbers and refigure them.
Stop. Listen, just stop acting like you know what's going on.
For the real guys that want to make money and stop hating, and guys that ain't trying to promote through our Instagram because you're jacking your cock and have nothing to do and have no clients, tell them what the promotion that we're running, Skip.
It worked so well for the opening round. I'm going to do it again, okay? This is your last opportunity. I'm never going to let you in this cheap again, okay? Take advantage of this, and I'm assuring you, you're going to make fucking money this week. Call the office, 877-220-6540. Call the office this Thursday for the Sweet 16, and you're going to get the entire Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday for just $99. Sweet 16, $99, Thursday and Friday. If you don't call for that promotion, you hate money. It's that simple. It's a $100 bill. Stop throwing darts. Stop acting like you know what's going on. And if you've been winning, if you're one of those guys that took advantage of the favorites in the opening round and you made some money, invest $99 to team up with us so we can attack your bookie. We're not looking to change what you're doing. If you're winning, we're just looking to add to your bankroll. If you're going to war against your bookie and you got 2 Uzis and we're sitting over here with 2 tanks, why the fuck wouldn't you take the tanks with?
Exactly.
877-220-6540. $99 for the Sweet 16. Do you remember Sweet 16, Steve?
I do remember when I was 16. I did a lot of things that we won't bring up right now, but I'm getting repaid with a 16-year-old daughter that's doing things that I'm recapping of what I used to do.
Sorry to bring that up.
No, we're not going to bring it down. We're going to stay up on a high. Matter of fact, I'm so excited about the ad that he's running. I'm the one that's coming with the information. Remember, I turn gray for your fucking payday. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to give you time to pull your credit card out of your fucking pocket, pick up the phone, call 877-220-6540, and sign up for that fucking promotion. If you can't spend a $100 bill to keep it real, we don't need you.
Let's make some money.
We'll get right back with you right after the break, guys. You do like making money, correct? I'm Steve Stevens. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie, I'm the Bookie Killer. Whether you're here in town on business or to flat out gamble, don't forget, sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry and you deserve your fair share. Call 877-220-6540 or go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com, mention this ad, and get a $500 personal play absolutely free. See you in the winner's circle.
BetDSI.com. Over 20 years in business, A+ rated and fast and free payment of winnings with odds on all sports and global events. Get a free $25 right now to try the site and a 100% bonus on your first deposit. Go to BetDSI.com now because it's only a game until you bet it.
Goddamn right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Darren Otero, a.k.a. Steve Stevens, El Scorcho in the streets. Sitting here with my co-host, the Big Skipper. Coming back live and direct. Just went over a couple things with you regarding the tournament. Teams that are going under, teams that got knocked out. Second half, we're going to go over some breakdowns. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, with sports betting becoming legal, everybody and their mom thinks they know what they're doing. What separates us from ESPN, what separates us from people in their underwear, is the guys that they have on their show, these coaches and the breakdowns and the people that are analytical and people that have a degree in sports, they don't have a fucking clue when it comes down to winning games against the spread.
ATS
It's called
against the
ATS.
spread.
You could watch those shows. You could have a coach on there. You could have all the players on there. I deal directly with the guys that make the fucking line. I deal directly with players, coaches, CEOs. There's no algorithms. There's no degree in sports what I do. If anything, I got a degree in the streets. And that's what gets me my motherfucking information to make more money than anybody around.
Amen.
I'm not a handicapper. I'm not a guy that sits in my underwear and goes over stats. I have a team of experts designed to generate the best sports information available. Bottom fucking line. So, like I said, you want to win betting sports, you want to make money, stop believing all the fake bullshit and let's get fucking paid. Fair enough?
Are you ready to start making real money? Then it's time to create your own business during March Madness. With the best player management software in the industry, go to paperhead.com. They've been operating for over 20 years, and Paperhead will help you build your own online business and become a new boss in the billion-dollar industry of sports betting. Offering the premium player management tools that aren't available anywhere else on the web. Paperhead will help you get a jump start on March Madness, and they're offering a special promotion today, Steve. If you call 0288. You'll get access to everything you need for Paperhead's Prime Package. Half price. You'll get it for half price. Paperhead's Prime Package. You heard it right, half price. The offer is exclusively for fans of the VIP Las Vegas Sportscast. 888-978-0288. Today, tell them that Steve Stevens and the Big Skipper sent you over there, right? Fair enough?
Buddy, I haven't even smoked no weed. You were fumbling more than half of the fucking NBA running backs.
Dude,
are you all right or
this
what?
This fucking Paperhead ad, bro, it's like a goddamn fucking
Hey, to get those exclusive tools to run your own business, it takes work, dude. You got to have a guy at least read the motherfucker, right?
There's a fucking reason why you didn't read it.
Oh, well, fuck. We should do a fucking stumbling fucking etiquette class.
Give me a fucking Marlboro Light. Give me a goddamn cigarette and a shot of crap.
Well, you were stuttering like a motherfucker on that one, boy.
Yeah, anyway, I know. There's a reason why you don't read it, like I said.
Shout out to our boys at paperhead.com.
Like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a sports betting show where we can break shit down for you, get you pumped up, and get you excited. Let's go over some marquee matchups. We don't really have time for NBA today because with the Sweet 16 tournament, we're going to tell you exactly how I feel, what to look out for, what not to look out for. Let's start, Skip, with Michigan against Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Start it up.
Michigan's minus 2.5 in this game against Texas A&M with a total of 136.
Whew.
The Wolverines opened up as a 3.5-point favorite. Yep. So already everybody's betting Texas A&M in this game. However, could it be a trap? And we'll get to that in a second. Texas A&M reached the Sweet 16 for the second time in the last 3 seasons by rocking North Carolina's World in the second round, 85-65. They beat the dog fuck out of them.
They smacked Tar Heels.
They got pounded.
Tar Heels were suspect to begin with.
Texas A&M is hot, as we said before, going 9-3 straight up, 8-4 against the spread over its last 12 games. Total has gone over in 5 of Michigan's last 7 games, Skip. Michigan hasn't looked great, but remember, that long 11-day layoff didn't help them none either. You know what I mean?
Well, I got to tell you, Michigan's 9-1 against the spread their last 10 games coming into the tournament.
Okay.
So, I mean, Michigan's been covering. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
They're 30-7 straight up, 23-13 against the number overall on the season. They're a 50-50 team overall when it comes to the over-unders. They got 18 overs, 18 unders. They have been covering lately. I'll give them that. 9-2 against the spread their last 11 games, and 7-2 to the over their last 9 games, Steve. And they're on an 11-game win streak. They've won 11 straight games straight up. So Michigan's been hot.
Exactly what you said brings me into my thesis for this particular game. I told you guys it came out Michigan minus 3.5. It went to Tech 2.5. 1-point differential. Well, to the sports betting public, you're thinking that everybody and their mom bet Texas A&M, but I'm telling you right now, this line movement was a trap. This came directly from the sports book for you to think that a lot of action was to put on Texas A&M for the public to bet Texas A&M, which means the bookies actually think Michigan State pounds in this fucking game.
Michigan.
They're drawing you to bet against them when in all reality, they think Michigan gets the job done.
Yeah, let me add this to the equation, and I what you're saying is 100% accurate. And
the line didn't move because of money. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, they're lowering the line, so.
So you think a lot of action came in on Texas A&M?
To make you believe that the money's coming in on A&M, and you might be stupid enough to follow it.
To believe it, exactly.
Texas A&M is only 9-9 straight up away from home this year. They're a 50-50 team. They're a 50-50 team straight up when they don't play on their own court. They're 13-14 against the spread against teams that have winning records, and they're 6-5 against the spread when they're an underdog. And their last 9 games, they've only covered 4 times.
Once again,
I mean, do I got to spell it out for you?
On paper, we just told you. The bookie gave you a trap line, hoping that you bet the other side. In reality, the bookie knows Michigan State is going to get the job done. On paper, Michigan, I keep saying Michigan State. On paper, Michigan, it looks like the easy winner. But once again, like Skip and I told you, you got to know when to play the game,
right,
at what time. So
you got a team here with Michigan that covers and covers a lot, especially here late. 9 out of the last 11 games. A lot of their games have been going over. They've won 11 games straight against a team like A&M, who's a 50-50 team straight up away from home, and they don't cover shit.
Moving on. Yeah, they don't. So Bottom line is, it's a trap. Michigan State seems to be the powerhouse in that, and that's what the bookies are thinking.
Michigan.
So,
Right.
Michigan. Jesus, what's up with Michigan
I don't know.
State?
Well, because we were talking about Michigan State getting knocked out.
Jesus.
And you got Spartan on the brain.
I guess so. Michigan, sorry, because they
Wolverines.
deserve their respect. You know
What's
what I mean?
the next one?
Let's talk about Kentucky and Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky minus 5.5 versus K-State with a total of 138.5.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky easily handled the Sprizzed last week, Big Skin, their last game.
Yep.
Kentucky opened up as a 5-point favorite. Kentucky started 5 freshmen, reached the Sweet 16 by dominating upstart Buffalo 95-75 in the second round. And by the way, shout out to Buffalo.
Yeah, good team.
Hey.
Shout out to Mark D up there in Niagara, Buffalo area.
Goddamn right. Skip, you said Buffalo had a tougher team that they did, and they actually damn near made history in game 1.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to my boy Sal from up there in Niagara, Buffalo area.
Our pal, big fucking Sal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, they came out and got the job done. Now, let me talk about one thing. The total. The total has gone over in 9 of Kentucky's last 10 games.
Yes, it has, and 5 straight overs.
5 straight overs and 9 out of their last 10 games, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a fact.
Kentucky is also 6-0 straight up and against the spread in its last 6 games.
They're also 9-1 against the spread in those last 10 games.
So for you people out there that like the favorite with the over, Kentucky to the over seems pretty fucking solid considering they're 6-0 straight up and against the spread and 9-1 to the over.
Yeah, now I made a mistake. They're 5 straight covers, not 5 straight overs.
No, 6-0 straight up and against the spread though.
So let's regroup and let's say this again. Kentucky is 9-1 their last 10 games against the spread.
Yeah.
They've covered 5 straight games. And those 10 games, 9 of them have gone over. So Kentucky's been covering and they've been going over. Kentucky is 7-1 against the spread on a neutral court, Steve, and they're 5-1 against the spread in the month of March.
And more importantly, they're 6-0 in their last 6 games against the spread. Motherfuckers have been paying like they weigh. I can guarantee you that.
You ain't lying.
You're looking for a team that pays, you might want to get on the tip of motherfucking Kentucky.
So here we got Kentucky that's just a covering machine right now.
We had them in their last game.
Kentucky's just covering, and they're going over, just like we said about Michigan, really, covering, and over. That being said, Kentucky's playing Kansas State. Let me give you some notes about Kansas State. 3-9 against the spread when they play a non-conference team. 1-7 against the spread when they're allowing 60 points or less, okay, like their last game.
They suck, cock.
They're 8-8 against the spread as an underdog.
They should be the Gamecocks.
And they're 2-6 against the spread as on a neutral court. Here's a team that doesn't cover.
No, the only thing that's getting spread is their ass when they're taking a good fucking.
However, be careful. Kansas State shoots really good from the free throw line. They're like a 74-75% team as a team from the free throw line. So, March Madness, it comes down to the free throw line at the end. And they're getting 5.5. Be careful.
Skip just hit it right on the head.
Because they will nail that free throw at the end of the game.
And score 20 points.
And fuck you right in the ass.
He hit it right on the head. That is a team to where if you're playing the total, and the total is 150 as an example, or let's just say 140, closer to the number, and they're at 119 with 2 minutes left, you're still not out of the fucking game.
Absolutely.
We've seen these teams score 20 and 30 points with 3 minutes left. So,
and even though Kentucky's a team that's gone over 9 out of the last 10 times, in general, for the season, Kansas State is a dead under team. They've only been over 11 times all year.
Here's
20 unders. So
one team.
Be careful.
Yeah, here's a matchup that we have to talk about because it is going to be a great game. Skip and I have talked about that we feel like this is the most exciting game for the money as far as a sports bettor is concerned for the day. And that's Nevada -1 against our Loyola Chicago, Skip.
Want to tell them about it right now or after the break?
We'll tell them right now.
Let's tell them right now.
Nevada's -1 versus Loyola Chicago with a total of 143.
We already took a break, didn't we?
Dude, you're on drugs today, bro. If you didn't
Did
smoke,
we fucking take a break?
Listen, I was trying to cover up for you, dude. You're stuttering through the whole fucking show. You're confused. I haven't smoked. I'm begging to get the show done so I can go smoke some fucking weed.
What the fuck is going on with my life?
He has no excuse.
What the fuck?
I haven't smoked any weed around him, nothing.
Man, maybe I'm missing the fucking second hand.
Nah, man. Hey, it just goes to show every now and then.
I'm out of it.
A little of that second hand master closer 101 Get your mental clarity.
I said after the break. We already had the break,
We've
right?
taken 3 fucking breaks.
Tell them about that fucking Wolfpack game, Steve.
Wolfpack opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. It is now down to 1.5, which it should be. This line is not a trap. The reason why Loyola Chicago went from, or Nevada went from -2.5 and 1.5 is because people are betting Loyola Chicago.
Right.
People are believing in Loyola Chicago.
Well, they're finally listening, yeah.
And they're finally listening to everything we've been telling them for fucking 2.5 months.
Is it too late? That's the question.
That is a good question. Nevada Wolfpack opened as 2.5-point favorites. Nevada trailed the Bearcats by 22 with 11 minutes to go, then ended the game with a 38-2, a 32-8 run for the shocking outright victory as an 8-point underdog. There are a lot of teams melting down in the second half. That's what the tournament is all about. The boys go home and the men fucking stay. Real simple.
You ain't lying.
The total has gone over. Now write this down, guys. The total has went over in Nevada's last 3 games, okay? Over in the last 3 games. Loyola Chicago is 15-3 against the spread in its last 18 fucking games.
Yep, and 16-4 their last 20. That's 80%.
Now, do you know why the line went from 2.5 to 1.5? Because this is a team that's been solid all fucking year.
Loyola Chicago will be -1.5 or 2 by game time.
Now,
remember where you heard that?
Yeah, correct. Now take it.
I've already seen it down to 1 or a pick in some books.
But have they ever even faced anybody in this division, Skip?
I got to tell you, this game.
Who have they played similar to Nevada?
It's very, very fucking intriguing, dude.
Who have they played similar to Nevada?
I don't know, but Loyola Chicago, the Ramblers, as we mentioned, like 19 fucking times.
Correct.
They just cover, man. That's all they do is
We've
cover.
been telling you guys for 3 months to bet them every single game. I think you might be able to read the lines here. They're playing a Nevada team that hasn't been solid. Real money's been betting on Loyola Chicago. I truly feel as a sports bettor and as a fan, Loyola is in a smaller division. I think they face smaller people, but I think they got a better team and they play together better than Nevada right now.
Well, let's just say this.
Could Nevada beat them? Absolutely.
They can. Listen, I got a big insight on this game. I'm making a big financial move on this game.
So am I.
I know, and we talked about it. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say this. Loyola Chicago, 80%, they cover 80% of their fucking games. I mean, they're 16-4 against the spread their last 20. They're 15-4. I mean, all their numbers, they just fucking cover, and a lot of unders. 14-5 to the under when they're away from home. They're 6-1 against the spread on a neutral court. They're 6-1 against the spread as a fucking underdog. They've covered 16 out of 20. I mean, they shoot 51 fucking percent from the field for the whole season, which is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I mean, they shoot over 50% from the field for the entire season.
Yeah, that's some NBA
I mean, come on, bro.
Well, let me
No
just
wonder they win every game and they cover every fucking game.
Can I give you an example? LeBron James, one of the best players ever, is only 52% for the season for the field. This entire team.
The entire team is shooting 51% from the field
2% less than
for
the
whole season.
Than the best player in the world.
That's phenomenal.
That's more than phenomenal. I got one word for you guys. We'll leave it at that. Total. Let's move on.
Be careful. Nevada averages 83 points a game, and they got one of the top 10 offense efficient teams in the country. So
total. Remember that. Gonzaga. We got to talk about Gonzaga. Gonzaga minus 5.5 against Florida State. Mm-hmm. Total 153.
Wow.
You want to talk about them after the break?
We're taking another one?
Gonzaga. 5.5 Florida State. This game right here is a marquee matchup. Let me tell you why. Bulldogs open up as a 6.5-point favorite. Total has gone over in 5 of Gonzaga's last 7 games.
Yep.
Gonzaga's 5-12 against the spread in its last 17 games. So it's not a secret everybody's betting the other side. They don't cover. They win, but they don't cover.
We've been saying it all year on the podcast. Gonzaga's a great team. They win.
But
they only got 4 losses on the season.
Correct.
They're 32-4 straight up.
They win.
But when it comes to the spread, they've only covered 15 games all year.
To be exact, 5-12. They don't cover against the spread at all.
They're 15-18 for the season,
yeah.
And they've only covered 5 out of the last 17 games.
Correct.
They don't cover.
No, they don't. Now, Florida State, on the other hand, same boat. 3-7 against the spread, which is nothing to shake a stick at as far as a good stick. That's a shit stick you're shaking. 3-10 ain't getting you no money no matter where you're at.
Florida State 2-8
Listen,
against the spread last 10 games.
Out of 10 games,
Horrible.
they're 30%.
Neither one of these teams fucking covers, period.
In the last 10 games.
You can't back either one of them against the spread.
Hold on, back them against the spread. Our whole motto is beat the spread, get some head.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gonzaga, Florida State is not a game to be betting. It's not a game to put your money on.
Not with the
and
spread.
It's not a game to bet with the spread at all.
And Florida State has the worst defense of any of the Sweet 16 teams left.
Period.
They're giving up 74 points a fucking game.
So, like I said, read between the lines, guys. If you're gonna work hard for your money, just don't walk up to the book and read off stats and lines or some bullshit you saw off ESPN, because the only way you get paid is to beat the spread. Doesn't matter who wins or loses. It matters who covers the spread.
That's right.
And considering that I'm the #1 individual in the fucking world doing that, when I talk, you might want to fucking listen.
The only way you're going to get paid is by calling 877-220-6540. People, I'm giving it to you.
I tell you what we'll
Okay?
do.
Stop fucking guessing and give us a call. $99 for the Sweet 16 for Thursday and Friday. Call this Thursday before 4 o'clock Pacific time, and you'll get the Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday, $99 for both days.
Let's go over some top 25 teams. We want to talk about Villanova. We want to talk about West Virginia. It seems to be one of the hottest games on the board. These games right here are brought to you by our boys over there at BetDSI.com, Big Skipper. Operating for more than 20 years, BetDSI.com is an A-plus rated, offers fast payment winnings with odds on all sports and global events, from the player who demands it all, including office pools, poker room, horse wagering, skill games, to the nonsense whale baiter. Whale baiter.
Whale baiter, goddamn
the
whale
whale
baiter.
baiter that just needs a no bullshit sports book. BetDSI.com is the perfect choice. So if you're looking for the best solution to place your action, go to BetDSI.com. Use the promotional code CHEDDAR to get a 25% wager, or should I say a $25 wager on the promotional code CHEDDAR, but the house will give you a 200% bonus.
Wow.
That's right, $25 wager and a 200% bonus.
Wow.
Using the promotional code CHEDDAR. BetDSI.com, where it's only a game until you bet it, my good friend. Let's get over Villanova, West Virginia. What's the line?
Villanova and West Virginia.
I ain't much on Villanova. What's the line on this, Skip?
Villanova, man, they look really, really good. My boys from Philly. The line, I saw at 5, maybe 5.5. Villanova favored 5, 5.5. In fact, it's only the fourth time all year. It's only the fourth time all year that West Virginia's been an underdog. The first 3 times, they covered 2 out of 3 as a dog, but they only won 1 of them straight up. Now listen to this. So it's only the 4th time that West Virginia's been an underdog all year. It's the second smallest line, the second smallest favorite of the year for Villanova.
In other words, ladies and gentlemen, they haven't been this low as a favorite.
Only once.
They only one other time throughout the entire year.
Yeah, they were -1 when they played Xavier at Xavier during the, I think that was that the tournament or was that in regular conference play? But they were -1 at Xavier earlier this year, and they won that game by
double digits, right?
16. They won 95-79.
Yeah, so you disrespect them, and they blow you the fuck out. Basically.
Villanova has covered 67% of their games this year, Steve. They're 24-12 against the spread for the season, and they've covered 5 out of their last 6 games. This team just covers and covers and covers. This is a real team. They win on the road. They cover on the road. They're averaging 87 points a game of offense. Are you kidding me? And if you're looking at the total for Villanova, 13 out of their last 17 games.
Over. But guess what? On the other side of the token, West Virginia, 7-1 to the over in its last 8 games.
7-1, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here's 2 teams that basically just go over.
So, like I said, you better want to look very, very close. If you're asking me about Villanova, West Virginia, I agree with Skip. You don't disrespect them. I think the line is a little bit too low. This number should probably be 8. West Virginia gets the job done, covers the spread, and as long as West Virginia shows up, this game's an easy over. Real fucking simple.
Villanova -5, 5.5. The total, 152.5. West Virginia's averaging 80 points a game. Villanova's averaging 87. West Virginia's got a better defense. Other than that, Villanova's a way better team. I said before the tournament started, if you recall, I had 8 teams written down that I thought were frauds in the whole tournament.
A lot of them lost. Carolina, you say?
Six of them are out.
Yeah.
One of the teams that I had on that list was West Virginia, and they're looking good. They're still in there. Don't be surprised if the Wildcats just absolutely fucking annihilate them. We'll see.
We'll talk about people that think who's the number one team and who's the best.
Might be the over again. Villanova, West Virginia.
No, it might be Duke Blue Devils when you start talking that type of language, my friend.
Duke's playing very good ball.
Yeah, yes, they are. Now, Duke minus 11 against Syracuse?
Yeah, I saw 11.5 this morning. Keeps going up.
It does. Well, because Syracuse isn't the team that they're supposed to be.
They're not even supposed to be there.
Shouldn't even be in the fucking tournament. Duke is the real deal. Let me just break this down to you. And by the way, remember when the Duke Blue Devils were 6-6-6 on the fucking game sheet?
Yes.
Blowout winner to the Devils. Like I said, I'm a godly man too,
That's
but
the day they were playing.
every now and then you got to see the signs.
Yeah, they were playing Notre Dame, remember? The
Yes,
Christian
they were.
boys.
Yeah, even the luck of the Irish on St. Patty's couldn't get that fucking
Couldn't get it done.
Blue Devils dominated in a pair of opening weekend wins, claimed victory over number 15, Iona, and number 7, Rhode Island, which, by the way, Rhode Island had a good year, dude.
Yes, they did.
Rhode Island, they beat them by an average margin of 23.5 points, these two teams. Yeah. Duke is 9-2. Write this down, guys, for you people that hate on Duke. I'm a UNLV fan. I've always hated Duke. I hate what they did to us when they beat us in the championship.
Yeah, I'm not a Duke fan, and I'm not a Krzyzewski fan. However, this team
is real deal.
They've been getting paid.
They're real deal. They've been getting paid, and they're like a mini NBA team, so listen fucking close.
They're 22-11 against the spread for the year, Steve.
They have major composure. They have major discipline, and they're a major fucking top 25 basketball team when it comes down to a real fucking team.
22-11 against the spread for the year.
That is correct.
67% covers.
9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games. Do I need to say anything else?
If you've been betting Villanova and Duke all year, man, you just moved into a bigger house.
Now check this. Yeah, that's a fact. Duke is 8-2 to the under in the last 10 games. So out of the last 11 games, if you're betting Duke and under, you picked up 18 units.
Yeah.
18 fucking units.
It's Villanova covers and they go over.
No, under.
Duke covers and they go under.
Oh, correct.
Right.
But I'm saying if you're betting Duke and under in the last 11 games, you picked up 17, 18
You're
units.
cleaning up.
You're fucking making
That
big
last
money.
that last game landed right on the number, 149.
No shit, we have. Syracuse upset both TCU and Michigan. I didn't say state. I said
Well,
Michigan.
it was Michigan State.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, that's hilarious.
The crazy thing is about Syracuse, they shouldn't even be here, Steve. They won the play-in game as an underdog.
Correct.
They won their first 2 games in the first round and the second round as an underdog. Syracuse's offense is ranked 315th in the country. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, tell them one more time.
Syracuse's offense is ranked 315th in the country.
Going against one of the most composed fucking offensive teams with Duke.
Do you know Syracuse shot 12% from the three-point line in this last game against Michigan State and still beat them? They only shot 35% from the field. They shot 12%
Yeah, you can't.
from the three-point line. From the three-point arc, they shot 12% and beat Michigan State 55-53.
You're beating people with those type of numbers, dude. You just beat an all-out team that fucking shit the bed.
It's that 2-3 old-school fucking defense
It sure as fuck is.
from Bayhon.
They're playing that 2-3 zone to hold their fucking opponents to an average of what, 52 points?
Unbelievable.
So,
it's crazy.
I mean, they had 52 points they held their opponents in the first 2 games.
55-53 over Michigan State, shooting 12% from the three-point line and 35% from the field.
Syracuse.
You got to be kidding me. Shame on you, Tom Izzo and the Spartans.
No, shame on college for having such weak fucking teams.
God almighty.
I mean, I can't. So anyway, listen, Syracuse is garbage. They're terrible. Duke is a finely composed team. They'll scare you with that type of number. But, I mean, the number is correct. Duke should easily pound these motherfuckers. If you're looking for a game that you really want to get paid on, I'd be looking at Duke first half. How about you, Skip?
Yeah, well, I mean, on paper, this game looks like...
Set the tone early.
On paper, it looks like a dead under. I mean, Duke's going under 8 out of their last 10 games. Syracuse is going under 5 out of their last 6.
Hey, Skip, what usually goes along with a blowout?
They got no fucking offense.
Skip,
I mean,
what total usually goes along with a blowout?
under.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
The way it's looking on paper, Duke should whoop that ass. You want to be safe, you might be looking at that total.
Correct.
Because we know this, Syracuse can't play any D. Syracuse can't score that good. It's going to be Duke night, I can tell you. It's going to be
they don't score.
how fast Duke wants to run is what's going to depend on this game.
Syracuse don't fucking score at all.
Let's get into another
They're not
game.
going to be able to hang with Duke's offense.
Listen,
that's for goddamn sure.
I don't want to keep
Duke's putting up 85 points a game.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Let's just go over 1 or 2 more. Like I said, I
There's
don't want
one more game.
Yeah.
Purdue.
No, what about Kansas Clemson?
Can we talk about that one?
Now, the big question for Kansas is what Devontae Graham are going to get. Graham scored 29 points versus Penn State, followed that up with an 8-point performance against Seton Hall, which the senior made 1 field goal.
Right.
I don't know what type of kush he was smoking, but
he was on some serious shit.
It wasn't the right blend for sure.
Devontae,
you need to go to sativa during the game, not indica.
Come on, Devontae. You get some better weed, dude.
Yeah, the over 6-2-1 in Kansas' last 9 games, and is 4-1 in Clemson's last 5. Clemson's 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games against the spread, including that drumming over Auburn, 84-53. Plain and fucking simple. I'd have to say, like I said, for Kansas in this game, boils down to Devontae. How many is he going to score? What is he going to do? Clemson can run with this team. It's not a big money team to bet with. What's your advice, Skip?
Well, Kansas minus 4.5. The total's 142.5. 7-3 against the spread the last 10 games for Kansas, including 4-1 the last 5. Last 10 games, Kansas has covered 7. They've won 10 out of 11 straight up. The problem I got with Kansas, Steve, they're really poor from the free throw line. However, last game they shot pretty well. Overall for the season, pretty poor free throw shooters, and I like teams that can shoot from the stripe. And they're not the best rebounding team either. That being said, Clemson is only 5-5 straight up their last 10 games. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I did.
Here's a team that's in the Sweet 16 that has only won 5 games out of their last 10 straight up.
Here's the bottom line. We can give you all the fucking stats you want. We can tell you what to do.
It's
but
raining scripts.
If you don't know what to do in the right place and to pick your fucking spots on how to make money, Skip, let's talk to these people a little bit on how to be a successful sports bettor and what to look out for. Because the sports book is constantly trapping you right now. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of big money moves to make out there. You just got to know when to pick and choose your right spot. Any advice you want to give these guys for the tournament?
Yeah, 877-220-6540. Spend a measly $99. Matter of fact, you're not spending anything.
You're investing.
Make a $99 investment in your bankroll. Make a $99 investment for the Sweet 16. Call me on Thursday. We'll get you coded in. We'll get you a couple of winners for the Sweet 16 for a measly $99. Make a small investment for a big reward, and let's go kick the shit out of your bookie. What do you say?
Bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, it's boiled down to the March Madness fucking tournament. It's down to the Sweet 16. And like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, this is when the bookies clean up. I don't care what type of bankroll you have, what lucky run you win on. As the season ends, people start betting more money. If you're going to put your hard-working money towards something special, you want an honest opportunity to win. Like I said, it's you and I against the bookie, not you and I against each other. I don't get fucking paid unless you do, and I don't like to fucking lose. You got winners and losers. Which one are you? I'm a motherfucking winner. On the behalf of VIP Sports, myself, the company, March Madness is here. Let's go get paid. Let's go make some money. And like I said, don't let the players be the only ones that get paid, please. I love you. See you.
It's Steve Stevens, I bust your bookie head open. Split it to the white meat, I ain't joking. Me and Dirt Bomb in the ghost float. Straight OG like that kush I be smoking. It's way too potent for rookies to come hit it. A little white girl around, I might sniff it. Poppin' bub in the club, so twisted. My pops keeps telling me to go get it. So I'm at the sports book, betting big on the Clippers. I'm talking about 5 figures, I need a few shots of liquor. Might need another zipper if the bomb play me. Fuck around and put a $500,000 on Tom Brady. When it comes to betting sports, Steve Stevens a beast. Need a certified winner called VIP Sports.